Holla, it's me again, Miss Tintin, and as you know, we're running a series here where we talk about things that I have experienced in my life as a public personality. Sometimes to noziza by seeing the way that others have done and if it's a success or if it's a failure. And in my case, when I had the leaked sex tape several years ago, I think we went to 8-9 years ago, it was a big negative. It was a very, very, very negative impact on my life, on my career, on my image, on my relationships, and above all, it was a very big dent for me in my life as an individual personally. That impact was so devastating that to now, yes, I've come thus far, and I can say back then I was a victim of revenge pornography, but I sit here today as a survivor, as a victor that came out of an experience of revenge pornography. When my sex tape was leaked, I was at the helm of radio broadcasting in my career. It was so amazing, it was wonderful, and then boom, overnight I went from hero to zero. And I was fired for something that had happened years prior. Zimbabwe has no stand-alone revenge pornography law, but victims can get recourse through other claims or sue for damages incurred, such as humiliation, pain, and suffering, which is what I didn't do. Cases of revenge pornography fall under anti-pornography or anti-obscenity laws. In this country, apana law inotaura kuti when your sexual content has been distributed without your knowledge and people are now, it's gone viral and all the consequences come with it. Hatina law, unlike other countries, for example, the UK, I know in the UK someone is serving up to 4 years for leaking a sex tape, a simple home sex tape, but it completely destroyed the life of the woman in this case. Like in my case, I lost my job temporarily, I lost image, I lost all that. It was a whole hullabaloo that I went through. But they have laws that deal with the person who actually went and distributed. In this country, not to say we're not getting there. As I speak right now, our minister, well, the minister then, I think this was about last year, in Zimbabwe, the Cyber Crimes and Cyber Security Bill is currently underway with public consultations having already been done. Now, I'm part of these public consultations. We actually go to a parliament. We're trying to push the bill that's specifically under the Cyber Crimes and Cyber Security Bill, that we can have a separate one that will represent strictly revenge pornography and deal with that, because right now it's just included in those things I mentioned just now. It's one of those. It becomes a bit tricky when it comes to dealing with it. The bill, when it comes through, and we're pushing really hard, and shout out to all organizations and the Kaswe Sisterhood and them as well that are coming through, and legislators, shout out to Tesima Jome, other legislators that are really trying to push to make sure that when it comes to the revenge porn bill, especially from a gender aspect, we get a solution and accountability comes forward. So the bill will criminalize the leaking or publishing of nude pictures of former lovers on social media or online. We are experiencing such high rates of suicide attempts and suicide that actually goes through, people that commit suicide because of the results, because of the impact it has in someone's life, in the community, in society, a professional platform. Sometimes it gets so dark, and I know because I've been through it. So I know what it is to go through the shame and the embarrassment and the perpetual torture. And every time that you think, I would sit there knowing that from the Windy to the president literally knew what my vagina looked like. The most intimate and the most vulnerable part of myself, that part that I would sit there and be with my partner and allow him to do. You know how we do, okay? You have sex, you do your thing, let's not be hypocritical right now. When you have sex with your partner, whether your wife or your girlfriend, whatever it is, and as a woman, the most vulnerable part and that part that you hold and say, yeah, I'm going to get him with this one, is your vagina. When someone leaks that picture or that video of you, especially as a woman, it is, and knock on wood, I never experienced it, and please forgive me if it's going to offend. It's not meant to offend anybody, especially the woman. It feels as if it's a perpetual rape. Every time that somebody who you don't even know, like I said, from the windy to the president and all that in between, people I know, people I don't know, no. And trust me, people will tell you, they're lying. Everybody done seen it. Everybody done know what you look like. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, it does feel like a perpetual rape over and over again, that every time someone is seeing and, you know, they feel they have the power to comment, oh, well, you know, her pussy looks like this, and why didn't she do this? Oh, she should have shaved, or done like this, and the hole is too big, and no. All of that, all it does as a victim, and you're sitting there, Uriwega, is it builds and builds inside, and it breaks and breaks and breaks. And if you're not careful, you do get to a point when you say, you know what, betandi found. Because and you see, you know, and pera, or someone will say to you, I so japera or apera, whatever it is. Listen to me. If you are a victim, if you're going through it now or have gone through revenge pornography, I'm here. Yeah? I am Miss Tinopona Katsande. Ain't nothing holding me back, you understand? I can't change the past, but I can use it to better my future and hopefully better yours. There is light. I know it's very dark right now. I know. And I know that little voice is telling you to do things and just take your life or commit suicide. That isn't the way to go. It's so not worth it. You understand? And I'm here. The organization Speaker and Ninyarare is out to help. And you will go through this. And you will get support. If you don't have it, I'm here. Just get in touch and we'll go through this. You will be fine. But you have to make sure that you take action. It doesn't help to say, I'm going to be fine, I'll be okay, and you do nothing about it. Okay, so having said that, let's go to what can a victim do in the Zimbabwe context, considering, of course, that Hatina law. I'll tell you, after my experience and my advice, legal advice, you go and you report at the police station. Yeah. You get there, and already the understanding from the cops, the first thing is, of course, a moral judgment. Why do you record in the first place? No. So, because of the non-clarity of the law pertaining to revenge porn, a lot of people feel they cannot go and report, or they feel they'll be further victimized, which does happen. It happened to me. But it's a learning process also, I think, when we're doing our talks to push the bill. I mean, you know, the police force does come through, and all law enforcement does come to try and understand and how best can we go forward, and how can we help somebody who comes as a victim of revenge porn. So, what can you do? The first thing to do is immediately flag and report the abuse to the platforms that are there, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the WhatsApp. And if it's a decent platform or a decent site, they will immediately make sure they take care of that. It's a lot of work, believe me. And I'm very grateful that I had a very supportive family. Even my father had to fork out money where we had to contact Google and remove it from pornography sites and things like that. And it gets tricky, I'll tell you now, because once something like that goes viral, you can go in today, Visa Piss and all platforms, on porn sites, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, but somebody out there still has it in their WhatsApp group somewhere. And what will they do? They'll just upload it again. So first flag it. Be ready to describe as best as you can on what happened, okay? Then you need to make a police report. And like I said to you before, yes, you will go to the desk, that front desk at any police station, and it will be very difficult, and you will get those looks and you will get the comments and all. But my advice is, when you go and report, my content I publish, I say WhatsApp, I say Facebook, I say they always have like a PR section in every police department, a victim-friendly unit section, and you are a victim. Please request usati waita report yako kuti ndine nyaya yangu yaitika ka ndoda kuti ndiende ku victim friendly unit. They are a lot more professional and a lot more geared to dealing with how you feel and what you're going through, especially at that time. Okay, so go and make the police report. Then ultimately you must be prepared to take responsibility for the manufacturing. Remember, I said our law in Zimbabwe makes it very clear, Kutijo, the distribution and manufacturing, the making of it, meaning that the making of it. I was there. I consented to this, to my little sex tape with my then boyfriend. I was there. I wasn't drugged. I wasn't forced. I wasn't coerced into it. No. We did it because I was very aware of what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, and that's what happened. There's a scenario I just want to discuss quickly of what happened in Zimbabwe, you know, because people don't come and report. It gets tricky to try and put together my cases when somebody went to report. But listen to this. In March 2018, a certain man appeared in Gweru Magistrates Court after leaking a video in which he was having sex with his former girlfriend and was convicted of circulating pornographic material after the trial. Remember, in this country, the distribution and selling is it's illegal. You will be prosecuted. The facts were that he recorded the complainant, who was actually a policewoman, without her knowledge or permission. She didn't know. In this case, she wasn't aware that he was taping them as they were having sex, and then he went and published it. So he went without and published without her knowledge or permission when the two were having oral sex. Then he threatened to release the video when the relationship had soured. As a result of the threat, the victim offered to have sex with him in order to get him to delete the video. Remember, I said there are many reasons why people can decide then to do revenge pornography and leak material that is not supposed to be public. In this case, it was blackmail. The woman said, you know, japela, japela. And he was like, ajuna, ajuna. And what did she decide to do? She felt that her strength was, he probably said, but if you sleep with me then. Or she said, or offered it knowing what he wanted, that, okay, look, we had oral sex, but if I had full sex with you, will you delete it? And she did have the sex with him. And what happened? After having the sex, he still went on to release the video via WhatsApp. So in passing sentence, the magistrate observed what the accused did was wrong, and he decided to leak a sex tape he had taken without the complainant's knowledge. He is found guilty and is sentenced to pay a fine of $250 and in default 3 months in prison. He went ahead and paid $250, but the consequence would have been 3 months. That wasn't because, remember I said the lines can be blurred when it comes to the legal side of it. It wasn't necessarily 100% because he went and leaked the material without a consent. It was because under our law in Zimbabwe, pornography, as they viewed it, in this case because it was a sex tape, but then because he distributed it, he went on the platform of WhatsApp and distributed it, it became material that could be bought somewhere or sold somewhere. Therefore, he broke the law, and his fine was either 3 months or $250. Yeah, so for me, $250 and what I went through, or even 3 months in jail and what I went through as an individual, what I still go through as an individual, it's not even. No, it's way not what I feel that the punishment should be. So I can tell you now, from the experience I had, you will never, ever, ever, ever find any pornographic material on my phone. Besides the fact that I'm highly now traumatized, which I've been going through and still get, I still have to deal with it, I still get my counseling, and it's a process. It's years later, but as Nabasa, something like that is very devastating. I don't receive explicit material. When somebody sends me, that's my truth. Because God forbid that day comes and they say, and I've got all these pictures of nudes and whether they're mine or someone else's, and I've got, videos of someone else or whatever it is, or a download from a porn site. Not on my phone, not on my gadgets. Because I want to be able to stand here and say, I'm pushing for a bill, and I'm not part of contributing to breaking the law. So, just to make it clear that possessing of any pornographic material on your phones or gadgets and then sending them is a crime in Zimbabwe. Also, the manufacturing, which is the making of it. Okay, so let's say that it was actually, I was doing something for a pornographic site. Making of pornography in this country is illegal. So you can talk about freedom of speech and my rights and my this, within these boundaries of Zimbabwe. But like I said, the lines are still a bit blurry because in the case of revenge porn, I am the victim. And as a victim, yes, I am responsible and I take accountability for being part of manufacturing or filming it, but it was never meant for the platform that it ended on, or that it then ended up being on. Okay? But I need you to know that the current Zim law makes it very clear that you are a criminal if you are going to be having any explicit content, sexual content in your phone. I think I'm rounded up there. Big shout out again to Miss Nunudzai Masunda and Fiona Chanda, who helped me a lot when I went through my experience. They were my legal representation from 2 different law firms, and they helped me a lot in understanding the violation that happened to me and how best I can go forward, but above all in winning, especially when it came to the fact that I had been fired from work. I then won unlawful dismissal, and then I was reinstated Kubasa and all of that. But it was a big hoo-ha, it was a big do. But the main thing is that I was violated and I got up and did something about it. If you are the one who has done something and don't know how to go about fixing it, if you have been contributing to the destroying of someone's life, their reputation, their image, their professional life, because you leaked sexual content that was not supposed to be leaked, let me help you. Allow me to get you to where you need to be, that you get the help that you need. And let's find a way forward. Leaking each other's sexual content is not the way to go. You're going to show people and publish it. It is so destructive. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And eventually the law is going to catch up with you.